What's going on, guys, and welcome back to LOI TV. Now, as you are all aware, the LOI season has come to an end for 2019. So today we are going to be looking at the pre-season predictions I made for the league table, having a look at them and then having a look at how the table finished up. Let's jump right into the video. So in this video, it's going to be looking at where each team actually finished and comparing it to where I predicted each team to finish and see how far off I was, guys. If you are new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button before I jump into this. So yeah, we're just going to start off in the relegation places. Now in 10th spot, I predicted Finn Harps, and in 9th spot, I predicted UCD. I was basically kind of going off where they finished in the first division the year before. UCD obviously had a lot of players taken from them throughout the season, and that resulted in them finishing 10th in the league, and Finn Harps finished in that playoff spot in 9th. So I did get the right two teams to be in the relegation spots. I just had them in the wrong order, but of course Finn Harps won their playoff game against Drogheda, so they will be remaining in the Premier Division for next season. In 8th place, I went for Sligo Rovers, and this one wasn't a bad shout either. They actually finished one place above that in 7th. The main reason I put them in 8th was I was anticipating them to be in a relegation battle. I didn't know an awful lot about their signings that they had made, the likes of Romeo Parks. Ronan Coughlin hadn't been great the season before, but those two had really good years, resulting in Sligo finishing in a comfortable 7th position. They actually had quite a good year, and were also unlucky in the semi-final of the FAI Cup. So Sligo ended up surprising me quite a bit and had a good season. Now in 7th place, I'm probably going to get a lot of stick for this, but I never saw it happening. Bohemians I predicted to come 7th, and of course they have finished with European football in 3rd place. A lot of the signings they had made, I didn't know an awful lot about them. I didn't know how James Talbot was going to get on. I thought Shane Stupple's absence was going to be really felt. Daniel Mandrew, I was really surprised by him as well. He's had a really good year. Cornwall and Finnerty have also really surprised me. They've been really solid at the heart of Bohemians' defence. So yeah, Bohemians have had a fantastic season, and I was well off the mark with this one. I predicted them to come 7th in the league. Probably going to get a lot of stick for that in the comments below, but feel free. But Bows fans, if you're being honest with yourselves, you probably didn't see a top 3 finish coming at the start of the season. But all the credit has to go down to Keith Long and Trevor Crawley, who season after season have been really building this Bows team. They've had so many setbacks with players leaving the club, young hot prospects leaving every year, having to get new players in, and they've done a fantastic job at the youth academy as well, bringing players up through that. So yeah, a lot of credit has to go to Bohemians with the way they run the club, and they've done a fantastic job of it this season, and they more than deserve to be playing European football next season. In 6th place, I went with the other team who got European football, who finished 4th, Derry City. Basically good 2 places off, but still in the league. That's quite a bit. I predicted them to come in the bottom half, so I did see them having a comfortable mid-table finish, and they've done really well. The likes of Junior and David Parkhouse up front had really good seasons. They're signing from UCD. Greg Sloggett, who has now moved on to Dundalk, had a fantastic season in midfield. Barry McNamee, come back from Cork, had a good year. So yeah, Derry City had a really good season, and they also probably deserve European football, considering they're head-to-head with Bows for the entire campaign. So it was good that they both got it. They probably both deserved it. I'd be interested to see how they get on. Obviously Parkhouse and Junior have left the club now. Obviously they were on loan at the club, so they will be without those two for next season. So it's a big ask to get replacements from them. I think they've already got in Walter Figueroa from Waterford, but it'd be interesting to see how Derry get on next season. But in terms of my prediction, I predicted Derry City to come 6th, and they surprised me as well, finishing in 4th with a deserved European spot. Now in 5th, I went with Waterford, who actually finished 6th, so that's a pretty good prediction. I predict them to struggle more than they did the season before, and I anticipate them to struggle even more next year. Obviously I was impressed by the likes of Zach Elbow-Zeddy. That signing was a really good signing, and he had a good year. A couple of players that were a little bit disappointing. I was expecting more from JJ Lunny and a couple of other players, Ched Vidukas and stuff like that. But Rory Freely was very solid at the back. They've lost him now to St Patrick's Athletic. But Waterford, I predicted them to come 5th. They finished in 6th. Obviously it was a bit controversial about them not getting the European football from the season before, but yeah, I didn't anticipate them to get that, earn that right back, and they didn't. second. They finished in a disappointing 6th position, and they're disappointing for the long spells of the season. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that prediction. I was only 1 place off. Now in 4th place I went with St. Patrick's Athletic, who actually finished 5th, so yet again I was very close to that prediction. It wasn't a bad shout by any stretch of the imagination. I was impressed by their signings on paper. A lot of them were really good deals to get over the line, likes of Reece McCabe, Chris Forrester, a couple of other players in the midfield and going forward areas. And I had like their strength and depth as well, the likes of David Webster, kind of bringing in players that really improved their strength and depth. And it's been a disappointing season for Pats for long spells. They finished it quite strongly, Stephen O'Donnell coming in and giving them a positive end to the campaign and breathing fresh life into the club. So going forward, they've made some good decisions and good moves in terms of moving forward for next season. But in terms of my prediction, I'm happy enough with that. I predicted them obviously to come forth and get that European spot. Just fell short in the end. They actually ran quite close. Last couple of games they were close enough, but in the end they fell short. But yeah, I'm happy enough with that prediction. In 3rd place, and probably the biggest shock of the campaign and of this prediction video, is Cork City. I predicted them to finish 3rd, and of course they had a diabolical season, finishing 8th in the league. Neil Fenn took over for the last little bit of the season, and they've looked a little bit more positive in some games, picking up a big win over Dundalk to give them some hope for next season. But in terms of the whole season, they're really disappointing. Had a very poor year. I was expecting to fall out the top 2, given the likes of Sadlier and McNamee leaving the club, losing that little bit of quality in the final 3rd, but I didn't expect it to have this much of an impact, and they've been so poor and finished in 8th place. Not really ever really threatening the relegation spaces, but never really push into the mid-table area at all, and they must be so disappointed with that campaign. The crowd numbers were going down week by week. It was a really negative time at the club, but hopefully now Neil Fenn can get the club back up and running next season, get a good few signings in. This is really important. Their recruitment is going to be crucial. It was really poor last winter, so it's really crucial that Neil Fenn gets some backing from the board and is allowed to put his own stamp on things and bring in the players he needs to push Cork back up into that top half of the table, where they probably do belong, to be fair, as the size of the club. But listen, I was expecting them to fall out of the top 2, but not by that much. Cork City finishing 8th. I don't think any League of Ireland fan would have predicted that at the start of the campaign. But yeah, I was 5 places off with that one, and that was a big shock. In 2nd place, I got it spot on. I went with Shamrock Rovers to finish in 2nd, and I expected them to leapfrog Cork City, but not quite Dundalk, and they leapfrog Cork City with a lot of ease. It was actually their Dublin rivals, Bohemians, giving them their closest challenge, but they're a good bit ahead of them as well. So there was a comfortable 2nd place finish for Shamrock Rovers in the end. But of course they got the huge FAI Cup final victory as well, which is an absolutely outstanding achievement from the club, beating Dundalk in the final, which will give them a good mentality going into next season, with going head to head with Dundalk more than likely again for the title. It'll give them that little bit of a boost of knowing they can actually beat them. So it was a huge achievement for good. I think it was a good season overall, definitely for Shamrock Rovers. Cup win and 2nd in the league. They'll definitely would have taken that at the start of the campaign, but moving on now, they have to start challenging for that league title. But in terms of my prediction, I'm happy enough, spot on the money. I anticipated with the signings of Aaron McAnuff and Jack Byrne that they would have a good season. Their midfield has been top class this season. They've had a lot of joy in the middle of the park, and Jack Byrne, of course, capping it all off, making a couple of Ireland caps and breaking into the team. It's great to see. So yeah, Shamrock Rovers, good things looking positive for the future for them, and I'm happy to have my prediction spot on. So yeah, that means I also predicted the champions correctly as well. Dundalk, not the hardest thing in the world to predict. A lot of people would have gone with them at the start of the season, definitely the clear favourites, and they didn't disappoint. They did fall behind Shamrock Rovers by 10 odd points at the start of the campaign. People were saying that this was the beginning of the end for Dundalk. Stephen Kenny's departure people were worried about, but Vinnie Perth has really nailed down this side and made it a real tough team to beat, and they've been so successful again. The strength and depth of the team is outrageously good. Jordan Flowers and Sean Murray coming off the bench, the likes Georgie Kelly on the bench. So much strength and depth in that team, and they're really force to be reckoned with. And it'll be interesting to see next year if they can crack getting into Europe a little bit further. Obviously they had a decent campaign this time around. They didn't score enough goals, that was just their big problem. But yeah, hopefully next season they can kind of get a little bit further in the European competitions, maybe make a group stage. That has to be the aim now for Dundalk if they want to progress. So yeah, happy with that prediction as well. I predicted the top 2. They were the only 2 I actually got correct, but I'm happy that I got at least 2 right. A lot of them were very, very close. But yeah, I'm happy with the top 2. Dundalk champions, Shamrock Rovers runners up. I predicted that at the start of the campaign, and that was in fact the case. So you guys, there you have it, my reaction to my predictions from the start of the LOI campaign. What do you guys make of them? Let me know in the comments below. Main talking points, obviously Bohemians jumping up from my 7th place prediction to 3rd, and Cork City jumping from my 3rd place prediction down to 8th. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and make sure if you enjoyed the video to drop a like, share it, and most importantly subscribe.